Listen carefully. Most people lose because they speak before they act. They defend before they deliver. They explain before they execute. The winners? They move in silence. They build without applause. They stay quiet, stay focused, and let results make the noise. This audiobook is a ruthless blueprint for winning without words, for mastering restraint, for choosing control over chatter, for becoming unshakable in a loud, needy world. If you can keep your mouth closed, your ego contained, and your habits relentless, you will become unstoppable. Silence is not weakness. Silence is strategy. Silence is power. Let's begin. Chapter 1. Stop talking, start stacking. You want momentum. You want movement. You want results. Then stop spending energy on noise. Stop burning calories on explanations. Stop narrating your plans and start stacking your proof. Noise is a tax. It steals focus. It drains discipline. It delays action. You have a choice. Talk about it or build it. That's the key. Every word has a cost. Every argument steals a rep. Every justification robs a minute. You don't need their permission. You need consistency. You need a calendar, a checklist, and a pen. You need to log the work. You need to stack the wins. You don't need to say it. You need to stack it. Here's the thesis for your life. Silence accelerates execution. Silence multiplies momentum. Silence protects the work from the world's opinions. When you stop talking, you start moving. When you stop explaining, you start delivering. When you stop seeking approval, you start building proof. That's the key. Look at the athlete who posts less and trains more. Nobody sees the hours. Everyone sees the championship. There are no motivational speeches on the podium. There is a scoreboard. There is a time. There is a measurable result. That athlete made one decision daily. Train, recover, repeat. Not publicize, not perform online, not chase applause. Train, recover, repeat. You have a choice. Do you want attention or progress? That's the key. Noise feels productive. Talking feels like moving. Planning feels like winning. But the truth is simple. It's not about your intentions. It's about your discipline. It's not about your feelings. It's about your standards. It's not about your potential. It's about your proof. You don't need their permission. You need a system. Here's your system. It's brutally simple. Plan, execute, log, repeat. Plan. Decide the next small action that moves the needle. Not 10 actions, one action. Define it clearly. Set a time, set a place. Set a duration. Put it in your calendar. Make it visible. You have a choice. Choose one thing. That's the key. Execute. Turn the plan into motion. No commentary. No delay. No dramatics. Start the timer. Do the reps. Finish the task. End the set. Then stop. You don't need to say it. You need to stack it. Log. Write it down. Date, duration, output. Number of reps. Number of pages. Number of calls. Whatever matters, record it. Evidence beats memory. Data kills excuses. Logging is the bridge between effort and belief. When you see the stack growing, you trust yourself. Trust is earned through proof. That's the key. Repeat. Tomorrow. Same time, same place, same discipline. The habit loop is the engine of quiet dominance. You stack small wins until they become heavy. You stack days until they become streaks. You stack streaks until they become identity. You don't need their permission. You need the next rep. Let's get practical. You want to launch a product. Stop pitching for applause. Stop asking for validation. Build the feature. Test the feature. Ship the feature. Track the usage. Iterate. Plan, execute, log, repeat. You want to write a book. Stop telling people you're working on something big. Set a daily word target. 600 words, non-negotiable. Log the count. 5 days a week, 12 weeks. That's 36,000 words. First draft done. You didn't talk, you stacked. That's the key. You need rules. Private rules, simple rules, no negotiation. Here are 5. No announcing plans. Announcements drain urgency. Keep the fire inside. You have a choice. Keep it private. Keep it potent. Daily non-negotiable action. 1 task, 1 metric, 1 commitment. Every day. No excuses, no explanations. Execute. Log the work. Paper, app, spreadsheet. Doesn't matter. Track it. Numbers over noise. Results over rhetoric. Weekly review. 10 minutes. Look at the log. Confirm the trend. Adjust the plan. Tighten the system. That's the key. No public defense. Criticism, ignore. Distraction, decline. Opportunity that doesn't fit, pass. Protect the stack. This is discipline. This is how you convert potential into proof. You don't need their permission. You need a routine. You need structure. You need silence. It's not about talent. It's about discipline. It's not about motivation. It's about repetition. It's not about perfection. It's about progress. Let's talk about energy. You get a fixed amount each day. If you spend it talking, you have less to spend executing. If you spend it defending, you have less to spend building. If you spend it seeking validation, you have less to spend on standards. Energy allocation is the hidden game. The quiet player wins because the quiet player spends energy on action. You have a choice. That's the key. Still skeptical? Try the 72-hour stack challenge. For 3 days, you go silent. No posts, no announcements, no debates. Each morning, pick 1 needle-moving task. Execute for 60 to 90 minutes. Log it. At night, do a 5-minute review. That's it. Day 1. You'll feel the urge to tell someone. Don't. Day 2, you'll feel the itch to justify. Don't. Day 3, you'll feel the power of proof. Keep going. You don't need to say it. You need to stack it. The magic is compounding. 1 day of silence builds focus. 3 days builds trust. 7 days builds momentum. 30 days builds identity. When you become the person who stacks, the world adjusts. Opportunities find you. People respect you. Results speak for you. You don't need to explain. The proof is visible. That's the key. This chapter is your reset. You will stop narrating and start executing. You will stop defending and start delivering. You will stop promising and start proving. You will stop wasting energy and start investing it. You have a choice. Choose stacking. Choose silence. Choose standards. It's not about hype. It's about habit. It's not about noise. It's about numbers. Here's a daily blueprint. Define the one thing that moves the needle. Clarify the output. 1 article, 20 calls, 45 minutes of focused training. Schedule the block. Same time every day. Make it sacred. Protect it like oxygen. Eliminate noise. Phone out of sight. Tabs closed. Notifications off. Door shut. Execute in silence. No music if it distracts. No multitasking. Single task intensity. Log the result. Date. Task. Output. Quick note on friction. Quick note on improvements. End with a micro win. Clean the workspace. Prep the next day's plan. Set the timer for tomorrow. Leave no ambiguity. This is not flashy. This is not loud. This is not for applause. This is for power. Quiet power. Durable power. The kind of power that stacks day after day until it becomes undeniable. You don't need to say it. You need to stack it. Beware the traps. The research spiral that replaces action. The planning addiction that avoids discomfort. The accountability theater that replaces progress with meetings. None of these will save you. Execution will. Silence will. Logging will. You have a choice. That's the key. When people ask, "What are you working on?" say, "Results." When they push for details, smile and change the subject. They'll see it when it ships. They'll hear it when it launches. They'll feel it when it hits the market. Your work does not need a trailer. Your work needs delivery. You don't need their permission. You need standards. And when doubt creeps in, go back to the loop. Plan. Execute. Log. Repeat. Doubt is emotion. The loop is discipline. Fear is noise. The loop is signal. Anxiety is chatter. The loop is structure. The loop wins. That's the key. Remember the athlete. Less posting, nor training. less noise, more reps, less press, more podium. That's the path. That's the model. Adopt it, adapt it, apply it. You don't need to say it. You need to stack it. Deliver daily, quietly, relentlessly. This is how you start the journey. This is how you reclaim momentum. This is how you win without words. You stop talking. You start stacking. You build proof. You become undeniable. You have a choice. Choose the stack. Choose the silence. Choose the discipline. The Chapter 2. Silence beats ego. Ego is loud. Ego is hungry. Ego wants eyes on you, now. It wants attention more than outcomes. It wants applause more than progress. It demands a stage when you need a workshop. It demands a microphone when you need a notebook. You have a choice: feed the ego or feed the engine. That's the key. Silence is how you starve ego and strengthen discipline. Silence is how you choose the work over the noise. Silence is how you build value while others chase validation. You don't need their permission. You need results. You don't need their compliments. You need consistency. Less validation, more value. Starve the ego, feed the engine. Ego has a playbook. It pushes you to announce. It pushes you to perform. It pushes you to defend. It seduces you into seeking likes, engagement, approval. It turns your day into optics. But optics don't build outcomes. Optics don't ship product. Optics don't move the needle. It's not about impression. It's about discipline. It's not about image. It's about execution. It's not about pride. It's about proof. Look at the founder who says no to interviews, no to panels, no to performative startup hustle. They build the product. They fix the bugs. They talk to users quietly, directly, consistently. No press tour, no victory lap. Then the release hits, stable, simple, fast. The market speaks. The metrics speak. The customers speak. The company grows. That's the blueprint. Less validation, more value. You have a choice. Ego is expensive. It costs focus. It costs time. It costs trust. Every minute spent curating your image is a minute not spent building your results. Every word spent defending is a word you didn't write in code, in copy, in strategy. Silence beats ego because silence reassigns your energy from performance to production. That's the key. You need rules. Private rules. Hard rules. Rules that box out ego and guard your discipline. 1. No performative updates. No posting big things coming. No hinting about deals. No fishing for praise. Keep the plan private. Keep the work sacred. You have a choice. 2. Audit the attention loop. Where do you scroll? What triggers the need to prove? Cut those inputs. Replace them with inputs that improve. Books, benchmarks, customer calls. 3. Replace applause with analysis. Trade comments for metrics. Trade likes for logs. Trade public reactions for private reviews. Numbers over noise. Results over rhetoric. 4. Delay credit. Don't claim the win early. Don't celebrate the prototype as a product. Finish, ship, measure, then quietly optimize again. 5. Practice decisive no's. Invitations that dilute your build time, get a no. Debates that yield no outcomes, get a no. Validation traps, get a no. Less validation, more value. You have a choice. You can be impressive, or you can be effective. You can be popular, or you can be productive. You don't need their permission to do the right thing. You need the courage to go silent. That's the key. Let's go practical. If you're a creator, turn off public comments for 1 month. Build a publishing cadence. Weekly, non-negotiable. Log the output. Track retention, not reactions. If you're a salesperson, stop posting motivational quotes at 8 a.m. Make your call list. Call for 90 minutes. Log contacts. Log outcomes. Adjust scripts. Starve the ego. Feed the engine. Ego thrives on drama. Discipline thrives on data. Ego demands that you defend your choices. Discipline demands you improve your choices. Ego asks, do they like me? Discipline asks, did it work? You have a choice. Ask better questions. That's the key. Here's a ritual to starve ego daily. 5-minute silent start. No phone, no notifications. Sit, breathe, write one objective. Just one. Not a dream, an action. 90-minute build block. Single task. Deep focus. Finish something concrete. Ship a small piece. Tight, clean, done. 10-minute log review. What did you produce? What did you learn? What will you improve tomorrow? No self-congratulation. No self-loathing. Just facts. Repeat this ritual for 30 days. Watch your identity shift. You'll feel the ego scream for updates, for feedback, for applause. Don't feed it. Let it scream. Then let it starve. On day 10, the urge fades. On day 20, results compound. On day 30, silence feels like strength. Less validation, more value. Let's address the fear. You think silence means invisibility. You think if you don't promote, we'll be forgotten. Not true. The market remembers outcomes. The audience remembers reliability. Your team remembers delivery. Hype has a half-life. Results endure. It's not about attention, it's about discipline. It's not about noise, it's about numbers. It's not about vanity, it's about value. That's the key. Consider the leader who listens more than speaks. They don't jump in to show off. They don't hijack the meeting to prove intelligence. They absorb, they synthesize. Then they make one clear decision. The team leaves aligned. That's power. That's silence beating ego in real time. You don't need their permission. You need clarity. You need stillness. You need standards. Avoid common ego traps. Premature celebration. Stop announcing before you deliver. Announcements feel like progress. They're not. Comparative scrolling. Stop measuring your work against curated avatars. Measure against yesterday's output. Defensive debates. When criticized, don't react. Improve. When challenged, don't spar. Show the data. Less validation, more value. Create an anti-ego environment. Remove mirrors from your workflow. Replace them with dashboards. Replace live streams with sprint boards. Replace pitch decks with customer interviews. Replace performative accountability with quiet consistency. You have a choice. Choose substance. That's the key. Build your ego fast. Week 1. No public plans. Only private progress. Log daily output. Week 2. No reactive replies. If something stings, write a private improvement plan. Week 3. No vanity metrics. Focus on retention, conversion, delivery times, defect rates, metrics that matter. Week 4. No stage time. Decline panels and interviews. Use that time to ship. By the end of the month, your posture changes. You walk differently. You decide faster. You need less approval because you have more proof. Your calendar is lighter. Your output is heavier. Starve the ego. Feed the engine. Remember, ego wants you to be seen. Discipline wants you to be effective. Ego wants applause. Discipline wants adaptation. Ego wants status. Discipline wants standards. You have a choice. Every hour, every decision. Choose discipline. Choose silence. That's the key. When temptation rises, when you want to post the teaser, share the plan, clap back at the critic, say this out loud. Less validation, more value. Open your log. Add a line. Add a number. Add a proof point. The log is your anchor. The log is your mirror. The log tells the truth. You don't need their permission. You need the next rep. If you lead a team, make silence cultural. Replace status theater with deliverables. Replace long stand-ups with clear dashboards. Replace update emails with shipped increments. Celebrate outcomes quietly. Reward reliability publicly. Teach the team to shut the door. Do the work. Show the result. Ego drops. Output rises. That's the key. Here's the closing drill. Write one sentence. My ego wants. My engine needs. Fill in the blanks. Be honest. Choose one ego habit to cut this week. Announcements, defensive replies, vanity metrics, cut it. Choose one value habit to add. Daily build block. Weekly review. Customer conversation. Add it. Protect silence. Guard your calendar. Guard your morning. Guard your attention. Guard your standards. Silence beats ego because silence honors the work. Silence beats ego because silence lets outcomes speak. Silence beats ego because silence keeps your energy where it wins, inside the engine. You have a choice. Starve the ego, feed the engine. That's the key. You quieted the ego, you strengthened the engine. Now it's time to wield silence as leverage in every room you enter. Chapter 3. Win the room with stillness. Power isn't loud, power isn't frantic, power isn't the one who dominates the conversation. Power is the one who controls the pace. Power is the one who listens longer, speaks shorter, and moves smarter. Stillness is leverage. Stillness is strategy. Stillness wins the room. You have a choice. Fill the air with noise or own the silence. That's the key. Most people panic in silence. They rush to fill the gap. They talk themselves into weakness. They reveal too much. They negotiate against themselves. Why? Because they fear stillness. They fear the pause. They fear the quiet. But winners? Winners weaponize it. Winners let silence do the heavy lifting. Winners let others spill their secrets while they conserve their strength. You don't need their permission. You need control. Think about the negotiator who waits. The deal is tense. The other side throws numbers, arguments, pressure. The negotiator listens, calm, unmoved, then asks one question: what's your best offer? Then silence. 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. The other side cracks. They fill the void. They lower the price. They reveal their ceiling. Stillness wins. That's the key. Stillness signals confidence. Stillness signals clarity. Stillness signals control. When you speak less, every word weighs more. When you move slower, every action feels deliberate. When you pause, you create space for power. You don't need to dominate the room. You need to direct it. Win the room with stillness. Here's the truth. Noise is insecurity. Over-explaining is insecurity. Overselling is insecurity. If you believe in your value, you don't need to shout it. You don't need to defend it. You don't need to justify it. You state it. You stand by it. You let silence reinforce it. You have a choice. Speak to impress or pause to influence. That's the key. Let's go practical. In your next meeting, cut your words by 50%. Replace filler with focus. Replace chatter with clarity. When asked a question, pause for 2 seconds before answering. When challenged, breathe before responding. When negotiating, state your position, then stop. Let silence do the work. People fear silence. They rush to fill it. They reveal more than they should. They concede more than they planned. You win by waiting. Stillness is leverage. Build the habit of controlled pauses. Before you speak, breathe. 1 deep inhale, 1 slow exhale, then answer. After you state your point, stop. No rambling, no justification. Let the silence amplify your words. When pressured, slow down. Lower your tone. Lower your pace. Stillness signals strength. You have a choice. React fast or respond slow. That's the key. Stillness isn't passive. Stillness is active control. While others talk, you observe. While others rush, you analyze. While others reveal, you record. Stillness gives you data. Stillness gives you leverage. Stillness gives you time to think while they waste time talking. You don't need their permission. You need patience. Look at leaders who command rooms. They don't interrupt. They don't dominate. They listen. They synthesize. Then they speak one decisive sentence. The room shifts. The meeting ends. The decision stands. That's power. Stillness. That's the key. Here's your stillness drill for the week. 1. Silent start. In every meeting, speak nothing for the first 5 minutes. Observe, listen, map the dynamics. 2. Pause practice. Before every response, count to 3 silently. Train your brain to slow down. 3. Minimal words. Deliver your point in 1 sentence. No fluff, no filler, just clarity. Do this for 7 days. Watch what happens. People lean in when you speak. People respect your restraint. People trust your judgment. Why? Because stillness signals strength. Noise signals neediness. You don't need their permission. You need presence. That's the key. Avoid the traps. Overselling. Stop stacking adjectives. State the value. Let silence validate it. Defensive spirals. When challenged, don't argue. Ask a question. Then pause. Filler addiction. Cut like, you know. Replace with silence. Silence is cleaner. Silence is stronger. Stillness changes the game in high-stakes moments. Interviews, negotiations, presentations, leadership calls. When you slow down, you control the frame. When you pause, you control the pace. When you listen, you control the outcome. You have a choice. Rush or rule. That's the key. Here's the mantra. Pause, observe, decide. Repeat it until it becomes instinct. Before every meeting, write it down. Before every call, say it out loud. Pause, observe, decide. That's how you win the room. That's how you win without words. Remember, stillness isn't weakness. Stillness is dominance. Stillness isn't absence. Stillness is presence. Stillness isn't passive. Stillness is power. You don't need their permission. You need control. You need clarity. You need silence. Win the room with stillness. You mastered the art of presence. Now let's talk about the engine that compounds quietly while the world chases noise. Chapter 4. Quiet work compounds. Noise is flashy. Noise is fast. Noise looks like progress, but it isn't. Loud sprints fail. Quiet consistency compounds. The market doesn't reward theatrics. It rewards reliability. It rewards the person who shows up every day, silently stacking effort until the weight of their work becomes undeniable. You have a choice. Chase hype or build habits. That's the key. Here's the truth. Momentum isn't built in bursts. Momentum is built in layers. 1 layer today, 1 layer tomorrow, 1 layer next week. Quiet layers, invisible layers, until the structure stands tall and the world calls it overnight success. But you know the truth. It wasn't overnight. It was daily. It was silent. It was relentless. Quiet work compounds. Think about the writer who publishes weekly for years. No fanfare, no viral posts, just steady output. 1 article at a time, 1 draft at a time, 1 edit at a time. Then, suddenly, the audience grows. A book deal lands. The speaking invitations flood in. People say, "You came out of nowhere." No, they came out of discipline. They came out of silence. They came out of compounding effort. That's the key. Compounding is the hidden engine of greatness. It's not about 1 big push. It's about thousands of small pushes. It's not about intensity once. It's about consistency always. It's not about noise. It's about numbers. You don't need their permission. You need a calendar. You need a log. You need a streak. Quiet today, loud results tomorrow. Here's the math. If you write 500 words a day, that's 3,500 words a week. That's 14,000 words a month. That's 168,000 words a year. That's 2 books, without hype, without drama, without noise. Just compounding, just stacking, just silence. You have a choice. Talk about writing or write. That's the key. The same applies everywhere. Fitness, finance, business, relationships. Quiet deposits compound. Quiet reps compound. Quiet conversations compound. The loud ones burn out. The flashy ones fade. The consistent ones win. Quiet work compounds. Here's your system. 1. Define the micro win. 1 metric, 1 action, 1 commitment. Daily, non-negotiable. 2. Track the streak. Use a notebook. Use an app. Use a wall calendar. Watch the chain grow. Protect the chain. 3. Ignore the scoreboard early. Don't chase results in week 1. Chase consistency. Results are lagging indicators. Discipline is a leading indicator. 4. Review weekly. 10 minutes. Look at the log. Confirm the trend. Adjust the plan. Tighten the system. You have a choice. Chase dopamine or chase discipline. That's the key. Let's go practical. You want financial freedom? Automate a weekly transfer. $100 every Friday. No announcement, no drama. Just deposits. In a year, that's $5,200. In 5 years, that's $26,000. Without noise, without stress, without hype. Quiet work compounds. You want fitness? Commit to 30 minutes a day. Walk, lift, stretch, log it. In a month, that's 15 hours. In a year, that's 180 hours. That's transformation. Without selfies, without hashtags, without validation. Quiet work compounds. You want mastery? Read 10 pages a day. That's 3,650 pages a year. That's 12 books. 12 books, without announcing a reading challenge, without posting your shelf, without chasing applause. Quiet work compounds. Here's the mantra. Compound, compound, compound. Write it, repeat it, live it. Every day ask, what will I compound today? Then do it, then log it, then repeat it tomorrow. You don't need their permission. You need the next rep. That's the key. Avoid the traps. The sprint trap. Stop trying to do 10x in one day. Do 1x every day. Consistency beats intensity. The hype trap. Stop announcing streaks, stop broadcasting goals. Protect the silence, protect the compounding. The comparison trap. Stop measuring your day against someone else's highlight reel. Measure against yesterday's output. Compounding is boring. That's why it works. Most people quit because they crave excitement. They crave drama. They crave applause. But boredom is the price of mastery. Boredom is the tax on greatness. Pay it. Embrace it. Own it. You have a choice. Choose boredom. Choose compounding. Choose silence. That's the key. Here's your compounding drill. Pick one domain. Fitness, finance, skill. Doesn't matter. Define one micro-action. 30 minutes. $100. 500 words. 10 pages. Commit for 30 days. No negotiation. No excuses. No announcements. Log daily. CTL. Date, action, output. Quick note on friction. Review weekly. Confirm the streak. Adjust the plan. Tighten the system. Do this for 30 days. Watch the identity shift. You'll feel the urge to quit. Don't. You'll feel the urge to announce. Don't. You'll feel the urge to chase shortcuts. Don't. Stay silent. Stay steady. Stay stacking. Quiet work compounds. Remember, the loud ones burn out. The quiet ones break through. The loud ones chase applause. The quiet ones chase progress. The loud ones peak fast. The quiet ones rise slow and stay there. You have a choice. Choose slow. Choose steady. Choose silence. That's the key. When doubt creeps in, look at the log. Look at the streak. Look at the chain. That's your proof. That's your power. That's your leverage. You don't need their permission. You need the next day. You need the next rep. You need the next deposit. Quiet work compounds. This is how you build momentum. This is how you build mastery. This is how you win without words. You compound. You stack. You stay silent. You become undeniable. You have a choice. Choose compounding. Choose discipline. Choose silence. You mastered the math of momentum. Now, let's talk about the reflex that kills it. Reactivity. Chapter 5. The discipline of not reacting. Chapter 5. The discipline of not reacting. Reactivity is expensive. Every time you react, you pay in energy. You pay in focus. You pay in control. Reactivity is a tax on your momentum. It steals clarity. It steals time. It steals power. You have a choice. React fast or respond slow. That's the key. The world will provoke you. People will criticize you. Competitors will bait you. Social media will tempt you. Every ping, every post, every opinion is a hook. If you bite, you lose. If you pause, you win. Silence buys time. Silence buys clarity. Silence buys leverage. You don't need their permission. You need restraint. Here's the truth. Reactivity is ego in motion. It's insecurity in action. It's fear disguised as urgency. When you clap back, you feed the drama. When you defend, you feed the distraction. When you argue, you feed the noise. It's not about proving them wrong. It's about proving yourself right, through results, through discipline, through silence. That's the key. Think about the leader who gets criticized publicly. The easy move? Fire back, post a rebuttal, defend the brand. The disciplined move? Stay silent. Fix the product, improve the service, ship the upgrade. Let the results speak. Let the critics choke on their own words. That's power. That's control. That's the discipline of not reacting. You have a choice every day. React to noise or invest in signal. React to opinions or invest in outcomes. React to drama or invest in data. You don't need their permission. You need patience. You need perspective. You need silence. Here's your system for restraint. 1. Pause before response. Count to 5. Breathe. Ask, does this move the needle? If not, ignore. 2. Redirect energy. When triggered, open your log. Add a rep, add a line, add progress. Turn reaction into action. 3. Delay decisions. If it's emotional, wait 24 hours. If it's urgent, confirm facts first. Silence beats speed when speed is blind. You have a choice. React now or respond later. That's the key. Let's go practical. Someone posts a negative review. Don't argue. Don't spiral. Fix the issue. Improve the process. Ship the update. Then move on. Someone criticizes your work online. Don't clap back. Don't explain. Keep building. Keep stacking. Keep compounding. The scoreboard will speak louder than your words. You don't need their permission. You need progress. Avoid the traps? The comment trap. Stop scrolling for mentions. Stop replying to trolls. Stop feeding the algorithm with your attention. The urgency trap. Stop mistaking speed for strength. Fast reactions are weak reactions. Slow responses are strong responses. The validation trap. Stop defending for applause. Stop explaining for approval. Silence is your proof. Silence is your posture. Here's the mantra. Don't react. Recalibrate. Write it down. Repeat it daily. When triggered, say it out loud. Don't react. Recalibrate. Then move your body. Move your mind. Move your work forward. That's the key. Build your restraint drill. Morning rule. No reactive replies before noon. Use the first hours for proactive work only. Trigger log. Every time you feel the urge to react, write it down. What triggered you? Why? What action will replace the reaction? 24-hour buffer. For emotional decisions, wait 1 day. Let the heat cool. Let the facts surface. Then decide. Do this for 30 days. Watch your posture change. Watch your power grow. You'll feel the urge to fight. Don't. You'll feel the urge to explain. Don't. You'll feel the urge to defend. Don't. Silence is your weapon. Silence is your shield. Silence is your strategy. Remember, reactivity is weakness. Restraint is strength. Reactivity is noise. Restraint is signal. Reactivity is ego. Restraint is discipline. You have a choice. Choose restraint. Choose silence. Choose control. That's the key. When doubt creeps in, ask, will this reaction create results? If the answer is no, stop. If the answer is yes, plan it, execute it, log it. But never react blind. Never react fast. Never react loud. You don't need their permission. You need clarity. This is how you protect your energy. This is how you protect your momentum. This is how you win without words. You stop reacting. You start recalibrating. You start building. You start compounding. You have a choice. Choose silence. Choose discipline. Choose power. You mastered restraint. Now let's talk about the private rules that create public excellence. Chapter 6. Private Standards. Public Excellence. Excellence is not an accident. Excellence is not a mood. Excellence is not a viral moment. Excellence is the byproduct of private standards. Rules you don't negotiate, routines you don't advertise, commitments you don't break. Public excellence lives on private discipline. Silence protects those standards. Silence makes space for those standards. Silence keeps your standards pure while the world tries to dilute them. You have a choice. Perform for optics or build for outcomes. That's the key. Most people want the result without the rules. They want recognition without repetition. They want respect without restraint. That's not how this works. It's not about talent. It's about discipline. It's not about hype. It's about habits. It's not about applause. It's about standards. You don't need their permission. You need non-negotiables. Write this down. Standards drive everything. Standards decide your wake-up time, your work blocks, your training cadence, your reading list, your review ritual. Standards decide what gets cut. Standards decide what gets done. Standards decide who gets access, when, and why. You have a choice. Set standards or drift. That's the key. Look at the athlete with a 5 a.m. training block. No posts, no hype, just reps. Mobility, strength, conditioning, recovery. Daily. Private, quiet. Then the season arrives. They don't talk, they perform. Public excellence built on private rules. The same is true for the chef who obsesses over mise en place long before service. Quiet prep, ruthless order, consistent timing. When the rush hits, plates fly out perfect. Public excellence built on private rules. That's the blueprint. That's the key. Your standards operating system, SOS. 1. Fix times. Set 3 sacred blocks each day. Build, train, learn. 60 to 90 minutes per block. Immovable. No reschedules. No debates. 2. Clear outputs. Define the deliverable before the block starts. 1 feature shipped. 500 words written. 1 module mastered. No vague goals. Only outputs. 3. Silence protocol. No announcements. No big things coming. No live commentary. Execute. Log. Move on. 4. Weekly review. 10 minutes every Sunday. Check your log. Confirm streaks. Identify friction. Select improvements. That's the key. 5. Boundary phrases. Memorize 3 sentences to protect your standards. I'm not available during that time. That doesn't align with my priorities this week. We can revisit after I ship X. You don't need their permission. You need protection. Protect your standards with silence and boundaries. Private standards are fragile when they're new. They are attacked by exceptions. Exceptions whisper, just this once. Exceptions sound like emergencies. Exceptions feel harmless. They are not harmless. 1 exception invites another. 1 break becomes 2. 2 become a habit. You have a choice. Protect the rule or watch it crumble. That's the key. Here's how to armor your standards. Environment design. Put friction in front of distractions. Put cues in front of discipline. Phone in another room. Notifications off. Calendar visible. Water ready. Gear prepped. Make the right choice easy. Make the wrong choice expensive. Pre-commit night before. Write the first action of each block on a sticky note. Open doc, write 100 words. Start warm-up set. Read pages 21 to 30. Remove ambiguity. Ambiguity kills standards. Clarity protects them. Identity lock. Define yourself in terms of standards, not outcomes. I am the person who builds daily. I am the person who trains at 6. I am the person who reads 10 pages. Outcomes follow identities. Identities follow standards. It's not about motivation. It's about discipline. It's not about inspiration. It's about installation. Installing routines into your day so deeply they run without noise. Public excellence is the lagging indicator. Private standards are the leading indicator. You don't get to the stage by talking about the stage. You get to the stage by mastering the backstage. Your sleep, your food, your blocks, your logs, your recovery. Quiet today, loud results tomorrow. That's the key. Let's get practical. Build your rule of 5. 1. Wake time. Fixed. 7 days a week. You don't negotiate with your alarm. 2. First block. Deep build. No meetings, no messages, output only. 3. Training block. Move your body. Strength plus sweat. Protect the engine. 4. Learning block. Read, study, practice, one skill at a time. 5. Review ritual. Log outputs. Note friction. Plan tomorrow's first action. Run this for 30 days. Watch the posture change. Watch confidence rise. Not from pep talks, from proof, from standards honored in silence. Avoid the traps. Optics over operations. Saying you have standards while breaking them. Stop performing. Start enforcing. People-pleasing. Saying yes to requests that cheapen your blocks. A polite no today is a powerful yes to your excellence tomorrow. Identity drift. Changing standards based on moods. Moods are weather. Standards are climate. Build climate, ignore weather. You have a choice. Be a thermometer, respond to moods. Or be a thermostat, set the temperature. That's the key. When pressure hits, your standards are tested. The client calls, the crisis erupts, the calendar explodes. What do? You follow the rule, protect the first block. If everything breaks, the first block doesn't. If it must shrink, it shrinks. It does not disappear. 1 hour, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, something. You don't skip, you don't surrender. You adjust and execute. You don't need their permission. You need the next rep. Silence strengthens standards in 3 ways. 1. Removes performative pressure. If no one knows, you're free to focus. Execution, impression. 2. Prevents premature celebration. You don't leak dopamine before delivery. Keep the reward for the result. 3. Reduces negotiation. Fewer voices in your day means fewer debates with your discipline. Remember, standards are promises to yourself. Break them and you weaken trust. Keep them and you build power. Your log is your trust ledger. Every kept standard is a deposit. Every broken standard is a withdrawal. Build your integrity bank. Deposit daily. Review weekly. Withdraw rarely. That's the key. Here's your standards audit. Do it tonight. Write down your top 3 standards. Be specific. 6 a.m. wake, 90-minute build, 30-minute training. Write 3 common exceptions. Late messages, ... Random meetings, scrolling. Write 3 defenses. Environment design, boundary phrase, pre-commitment. Schedule your weekly review. Sunday, 10 minutes. Non-negotiable. Then execute, quietly, relentlessly. Public excellence will follow. It always does, because the market respects reliability. Audiences respect consistency. Teams respect dependability. Excellence earns respect over time, not noise over a weekend. You have a choice. Chase the spotlight or build the lighthouse. The spotlight finds you, then forgets you. The lighthouse guides others because it stands every night. That's the key. Pressure will try to bend your rules. Ego will try to broadcast your rules. Fear will try to loosen your rules. Don't let them. Standards are your spine. No spine, no posture. No posture, no power. Stand up. Lock in. Honor the rule. You don't need their permission. You need your own word kept. This is how you become undeniable. Not through slogans, through standards. Not through speeches, through schedules. Not through noise, through numbers. Private standards, public excellence. That's the work. That's the way. That's the key. You built the backbone. Now it's time to use silence to strengthen every connection, resolve conflict, and lead with calm authority. You mastered your standards. Now, let's master your influence. Chapter 7. Master the unsaid in relationships. Words are powerful, but silence is surgical. Silence can de-escalate conflict. Silence can build trust. Silence can command respect. In leadership, in business, in life, the unsaid often speaks louder than the said. You have a choice. Talk to dominate, or listen to understand. That's the key. Most people ruin relationships by overreacting, over-explaining, over-defending. They fill every gap with noise. They rush to prove. They rush to justify. They rush to win the argument instead of winning the outcome. But winners master restraint. Winners master listening. Winners master the pause. You don't need their permission. You need presence. Here's the truth. Silence is not passive. Silence is active power. When you listen longer, you learn more. When you speak less, you influence more. When you pause, you control the frame. It's not about being quiet for quiet's sake. It's about using silence as a tool for clarity, for authority, for trust. That's the key. Think about the leader in a heated meeting. The team is emotional, voices rise, opinions clash. The leader doesn't jump in. The leader doesn't match the noise. The leader listens, calm, still. Then, after the storm burns out, they speak one sentence. Here's what we'll do. The room settles. The decision stands. That's power. That's silence beating chaos. You have a choice every day. Escalate or de-escalate. Defend or direct. React or reflect. You don't need their permission. You need control. Here's your unsaid playbook. 1. Listen longer. When someone speaks, don't interrupt. Don't plan your rebuttal. Absorb. Ask clarifying questions. Make them feel heard. 2. Pause before response. Count to 3. Breathe, then speak. Pauses signal confidence. Pauses prevent mistakes. 3. Speech shorter. Cut filler, cut fluff. Deliver your point in one sentence. Then stop. Let silence amplify your words. You have a choice. Fill the air or fill the gap with strength. That's the key. Silence builds trust because silence signals respect. When you listen, you validate. When you pause, you show patience. When you speak less, you show clarity. People trust calm. People trust control. People trust the leader who doesn't need to dominate the conversation, to dominate the outcome. Avoid the traps, defensive spirals. When criticized, don't argue. Ask, what would you like to see improved? Then listen. Validation addiction. Stop explaining every decision for approval. State the decision, state the reason, then move forward. Filler addiction. Stop drowning your point in words. Silence is stronger than filler. Here's the mantra. Listen longer, speak shorter, lead stronger. Write it down. Repeat it before every meeting. Repeat it before every call. Repeat it before every negotiation. That's the key. Let's go practical. In your next conversation, step 1, ask one open-ended question. What's your biggest concern? Then, shut up. Let them talk. Step 2, when they finish, pause for 3 seconds. Then summarize their point in one sentence. So your priority is X. This shows you listened. Step 3, deliver your response in one sentence. Clear, direct, no fluff. Then stop. Do this for 7 days. Watch the shift. People lean in when you speak. People respect your restraint. People trust your judgment. Why? Because silence signals strength. Noise signals neediness. You don't need their permission. You need presence. Silence also protects relationships in conflict. When emotions spike, words become weapons. Every extra sentence is a risk. Every extra word is a wound. Silence is the shield. Silence is the reset. When tension rises, stop talking. Breathe. Let the heat cool. Then speak with clarity. That's the key. Here's your conflict drill. When attacked, don't defend immediately. Say, I hear you, then pause. When pressured, don't rush. Say, let me think about that, then pause. When provoked, don't bite. Say nothing. Walk away. Respond later with facts, not feelings. You have a choice: escalate or elevate. That's the key. Silence also amplifies leadership. Great leaders don't dominate airtime. They dominate outcomes. They speak less, decide more. They listen longer, act faster. They don't waste energy proving authority. They use silence to project authority. You don't need their permission. You need posture. Remember, silence isn't weakness. Silence is wisdom. Silence isn't absence. Silence is presence. Silence isn't passive. Silence is power. You have a choice. Choose restraint. Choose clarity. Choose silence. This is how you build influence without noise. This is how you lead without theatrics. This is how you win without words. You master the unsaid. You master the pause. You master the room. You have a choice. Choose silence. Choose strength. Choose control. You mastered influence. Now let's talk about the addiction that kills it. Applause. Chapter 8. Detach from applause. Applause is addictive. Likes, comments, praise, they feel good. They feel like progress, but they're not progress. They're noise. They're dopamine dressed as validation, and dopamine is dangerous when it drives your decisions. You have a choice. Chase applause or chase mastery. That's the key. Here's the truth. Applause is a trap. It tricks you into performing instead of producing. It tricks you into optimizing for optics instead of outcomes. It tricks you into chasing attention instead of chasing excellence. You don't need their permission. You don't need their praise. You need discipline. You need silence. You need results. Think about the artist who turns off comments. No likes, no shares, no feedback loop. Just craft, just output, just improvement. At first, it feels empty. At first, it feels lonely. But then something shifts. The work gets sharper. The ideas get bolder. The execution gets cleaner. Why? Because the artist detached from applause and attached to process. That's the key. Applause creates dependency. Every post becomes a performance. Every decision becomes a poll. Every move becomes a bid for approval. That's weakness. That's fragility. That's ego in disguise. If your confidence depends on claps, you're not strong. You're exposed. You have a choice. Build for likes or build for legacy. That's the key. Here's your detachment framework. 1. Audit your applause triggers. Where do you seek validation? Social media, meetings, metrics that don't matter. Write them down. 2. Cut one trigger this week. Turn off notifications. Stop checking comments. Stop fishing for compliments. Silence the noise. 3. Replace applause with analysis. Trade likes for logs. Trade comments for conversions. Trade vanity metrics for value metrics. You don't need their permission. You need progress. You need proof. You need private wins. Let's go practical. If you're a creator, stop posting drafts for feedback. Finish the draft. Ship the draft. Log the output. If you're an entrepreneur, stop announcing every milestone. Build the product. Test the product. Ship the product. Let the market speak when it's ready. If you're in fitness, stop posting selfies. Do the reps. Log the reps. Track the numbers. Quiet today, loud results tomorrow. That's the key. Avoid the traps. The dopamine loop. Every like feels like progress. It's not. It's a chemical trick. Break the loop. The optics obsession. Stop curating your image. Start curating your craft. The premature celebration. Stop announcing before you deliver. Announcements drain urgency. Keep the fire inside. Here's the mantra. Detach from praise. Attach to process. Write it down. Repeat it daily. When you feel the urge to check, say it out loud. Detach from praise. Attach to process. Then open your log. Add a line. Add a number. Add proof. That's the key. Build your applause detox. Week 1. No social metrics. Turn off notifications. Post nothing. Week 2. No public plans. Keep goals private. Share only results when they're undeniable. Week 3. No reactive replies. Ignore comments. Ignore critics. Ignore compliments. Week 4. No vanity metrics. Focus on depth, not reach. Focus on retention, not reactions. Do this for 30 days. Watch your posture change. Watch your confidence rise. Not from applause, from achievement. Not from likes, from logs. Not from noise, from numbers. You don't need their permission. You need your own proof. Here's the truth. Applause fades. Algorithms change. Attention shifts. But mastery endures. Excellence compounds. Results speak forever. Stop chasing claps. Start chasing craft. Stop chasing validation. Start chasing value. Stop chasing optics. Start chasing outcomes. You have a choice. Choose silence. Choose standards. Choose substance. That's the key. When temptation hits, when you want to post, when you want to check, when you want to brag, pause. Ask, does this move the needle? If the answer is no, stop. If the answer is yes, execute, log it. Repeat tomorrow. That's the discipline. That's the power. Detach from applause, because applause is noise. Detach from applause, because applause is noise. Attach to process, because process is signal. Detach from praise, because praise is temporary. Attach to progress, because progress is permanent. You don't need their permission. You need your own word, kept. This is how you build confidence that lasts. This is how you build identity that stands. This is how you win without words. You detach from applause. You attach to process. You become undeniable. You have a choice. Choose silence. Choose discipline. Choose power. Chapter 9. Strategic silence in competition. Competition loves noise. Competitors brag. They broadcast. They telegraph every move. They leak their roadmap. They announce their intentions. And then they wonder why they lose. Winners? Winners move in silence. Winners strike without warning. Winners let results speak when the timing is perfect. You have a choice. Show your hand or play the long game. That's the key. Here's the truth. Strategy dies in the spotlight. Every time you announce, you give away leverage. Every time you brag, you give away surprise. Every time you talk, you give away control. Silence is your shield. Silence is your weapon. Silence is your advantage. You don't need their permission. You need patience. Think about the company that launches quietly. No hype. No teaser campaigns. No big things coming. They build in silence. They test in silence. They refine in silence. Then one day, the product drops. Stable, fast, beautiful. Competitors scramble. Customers flock. The market shifts overnight. That's power. That's strategic silence. That's the key. Noise feels good. Noise feels like progress. Noise feels like dominance. But noise is weakness disguised as confidence. If you need to announce, you're insecure. If you need to brag, you're exposed. If you need to prove, you're vulnerable. Winners don't prove. Winners perform. Winners don't announce. Winners deliver. You have a choice. Choose silence. Choose strength. Here's your strategic silence framework. 1. Hide the roadmap. Stop leaking plans. Stop teasing features. Stop broadcasting timelines. Build quietly. Ship when ready. 2. Control the narrative. Speak only when it serves the strategy. Announce only when it amplifies results, not ego. 3. Delay disclosure. When asked, smile and say, "We're working on something exciting." Then stop. No details, no drama. You don't need their permission. You need control. You need leverage. You need surprise. Let's go practical. If you're in business, stop posting every milestone. Stop telling competitors what's next. Build the feature. Test the feature. Ship the feature. Let the market discover it. If you're in fitness, stop announcing your goals. Train quietly. Log privately. Show the transformation when it's undeniable. If you're in sales, stop bragging about your pipeline. Close the deals. Hit the numbers. Let the scoreboard speak. That's the key. Avoid the traps. The hype trap. Stop chasing attention before you have results. Hype drains urgency. Silence fuels execution. The leak trap. Stop sharing details with people who don't need them. Every leak is leverage lost. The ego trap. Stop announcing for applause. Announcements feel like progress. They're not. Here's the mantra. Hide the roadmap. Show the result. Write it down. Repeat it daily. When you feel the urge to share, say it out loud. Hide the roadmap. Show the result. Then open your log. Add a line. Add a number. Add proof. That's the key. Build your strategic silence drill. Week 1. No public plans. Keep everything private. Share nothing until it's done. Week 2. No reactive replies. When asked about progress, answer with calm confidence. We're focused on execution. Week 3. No vanity updates. Stop posting teasers. Stop leaking timelines. Stop chasing hype. Week 4. Controlled reveal. Announce only when the result is undeniable and let the result dominate the message. Do this for 30 days. Watch the shift. Competitors guess. You execute. Competitors talk. You deliver. Competitors brag. You win. Silence is your edge. Silence is your moat. Silence is your multiplier. You don't need their permission. You need patience. Remember, strategy loves silence. Surprise loves silence. Power loves silence. You have a choice. Choose noise or choose leverage. Choose hype or choose dominance. Choose ego or choose execution. That's the key. When temptation hits, when you want to brag, when you want to tease, when you want to leak, pause. Ask, does this serve the strategy? If the answer is no, stop. If the answer is yes, plan it. Execute it. Announce only when the result is undeniable. That's discipline. That's power. This is how you win markets without shouting. This is how you win games without trash talk. This is how you win without words. You move in silence. You strike in silence. You dominate in silence. You have a choice. Choose silence. Choose strength. Choose control. You mastered strategic silence. Now, let's finish the game. The ultimate flex. Proof without words. Chapter 10. Let results do the talking. Talk less. Prove more. That's the operating system. That's the posture. That's the discipline. The ultimate flex is proof. No speech, no spin, just data and delivery. You have a choice. Announce outcomes or achieve outcomes. That's the key. Noise is cheap. Results are expensive. Noise buys attention for a moment. Results buy credibility for a lifetime. When you let results do the talking, you don't need to argue. You don't need to defend. You don't need their permission. You present the numbers. You present the outcomes. You present the stack. Then you move on. Quietly, relentlessly. Here's the truth. People trust what they can verify. They trust measurable output. They trust repeated performance. They trust consistency. Words can persuade. Results can convict. Words can entertain. Results can decide. It's not about hype. It's about discipline. It's not about optics. It's about execution. It's not about opinions. It's about proof. That's the key. Consider the coach who doesn't post motivational speeches. They post client outcomes, pounds lost, VO2 improved, PR set, consistency logged. No hype, just numbers over noise. The market understands that. The market respects that. Results cut through arguments like a blade through fog. You don't need their permission. You need the scoreboard. Let's get practical. What counts as a result? A shipped feature, a closed contract, a published chapter, a delivered campaign, a measurable lift, retention, conversion, speed, accuracy, cost. Not vibes, not impressions, not applause. Proof you can point to. Today, next week, next quarter. Build your proof engine. 1. Define the metric that matters. Pick one primary KPI per domain. Sales, revenue closed, product, feature shipped and defect rate, content, consistency and retention, fitness, reps, loads, times. Keep it simple. Keep it honest. Design outputs, not activities. Write 800 words and publish beats work on book. Ship V1 feature to 20 beta users beats refactor. Outputs force reality. Activities hide excuses. 3. Log relentlessly. Date, output, metric, short note on friction, short note on improvement. The log is your courtroom. The entries are your evidence. You have a choice. Collect proof or collect praise. That's the key. Stop talking about potential. Potential is speculation. Proof is substance. Potential is a story you tell. Proof is a story the world can see. Your job is simple. Stack proof points until silence becomes your reputation. Quiet competence, reliable delivery, compounding results. You don't need their permission. You need your next entry in the log. Avoid the traps, vanity metrics, reach without retention, views without value, followers without fidelity. If it doesn't drive the mission, it's noise. Cut it. Narrative theater. Long updates that mask thin output. Replace with a one-line result and a chart. Premature victory laps. Announcing prototypes like products. Stop, finish, ship, measure, then optimize. Here's the mantra. Numbers over noise, results over rhetoric. Write it on your whiteboard. Write it in your notebook. Write it on your mirror. When the urge to explain rises, point to the log. When the urge to defend rises, point to the metric. When the urge to flex rises, point to the scoreboard. That's the key. Create a results-first review every Friday. Step 1. Evidence check. What did you ship? What did you close? What did you finish? Step 2. Metric movement. What changed? Up or down? By how much? Step 3. Root cause. Why did it move? What helped? What hindered? Step 4. One fix, one focus. Choose one improvement for next week. Simplicity wins. Step 5. Silence protocol. Share nothing publicly unless it's finalized, verified, and valuable. This review rewires your brain for outcomes. You stop obsessing over opinions. You start obsessing over evidence. You don't need their permission. You need a pattern of delivery. Let's talk posture. When you lead with results, your sentences get shorter. We shipped X. We reduced Y by 12%. We hit Z 3 weeks early. Then stop talking. Let the number sit. Let the silence do the work. People lean in. People adjust. People believe. Stillness plus evidence equals influence. A playbook for high-stakes moments. Negotiation. Present data. State terms. Pause. Let them process. Stillness is leverage. Results are pressure. Boardroom. One slide. 3 numbers. 1 decision. No theater. No fluff. Clarity wins. Client pitch. Case study with before-after metrics. 1 paragraph. 1 chart. Offer. Silence. You have a choice. Flood the room with words or anchor the room with facts. That's the key. Remember the loop. Plan, execute, log, repeat. Now add publish selectively. Private logs build confidence. Selective reveals build credibility. Most of your proof stays inside your system until it's undeniable. Then you release a single, clean signal. No tease, no drama. Result, then silence again. Train yourself to answer criticism with posture, not paragraphs. We're focused on delivery. Here are the numbers. We'll let the results speak. That's it. Short, final, finished. You don't need their permission. You need standards. Build your proof stack challenge. 30 days. Daily. 1 output you can point to. Micro is fine. Just real. Weekly. 1 metric that moves. Track the delta. End of month. 1 undeniable result. Publish once. Then go silent again. By day 10, you'll feel different. Less defensive. More decisive. Less drawn to applause. More drawn to progress. By day 30, people will notice. Not because you told them, because something changed in what they can see. Consistency, delivery, outcomes. That's the key. Here's a reality check. The world remembers scoreboards, not speeches. It remembers delivery dates, not teaser campaigns. It remembers reliability, not rhetoric. If you want respect, stack results. If you want leverage, stack results. If you want power, stack results. You don't need their permission. You need the stack. When doubt creeps in, go back to fundamentals. It's not about talent. It's about discipline. It's not about attention. It's about standards. It's not about noise. It's about numbers. Write one sentence every morning. Today I will produce ... and measure X. Then do it. Then log it. Then repeat. Quietly, relentlessly. This is the culmination. This is the proof principle. You stop talking. You start stacking. You build the record. You become undeniable. When you let results do the talking, your silence becomes a signal. Your silence becomes a brand. Your silence becomes power. You have a choice. Choose proof. Choose process. Choose silence. That's the key. You've learned to speak through outcomes. Now it's time to tie the entire discipline together and issue the final challenge. Closing. The discipline of silence, your 30-day command. This is your reset. From today forward, you win without words. You stop announcing plans and start stacking proof. You stop chasing applause and start compounding effort. You stop reacting and start recalibrating. Your ego gets no microphone. Your standards get total protection. In rooms, you slow down. You listen longer. You speak shorter. You lead stronger. You move without telegraphing. You build without broadcasting. And you let the scoreboard do what speeches can't. Convince. The thesis is simple. Silence is not the absence of power. It is the control of it. Now the challenge. For the next 30 days, go silent. No public plans. No performative posts. No reactive replies. Set 3 private standards. Execute 1 non-negotiable routine daily. Track your wins in a notebook. Share nothing until the proof is undeniable. When you feel the urge to explain, don't. When you feel the need to defend, don't. When you want validation, deny it. Stack the work. Guard the quiet. Let your results make the noise. Start today. Stay silent. Win.